Hi everyone, I realise I haven't done a video on this topic specifically, and it's something that's so important for you to understand when it comes to recovering from a chronic illness, and that is the wired but tired feeling, and realising that until you are out of that wired adrenaline filled state, you cannot recover. You just cannot. You may feel demoralised at the moment that you've gone a few months, you've changed your dietary habits, you've changed your sleeping habits, you're not seeing the changes you would have thought you would see in that amount of time. And if you're in that wired state, it's because of that. You know, it doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't benefiting your body. It's just that when you're in that wired state, your body's constantly engaged. Our bodies heal whilst we're calm. Like now, when I'm in nature, clearing my mind, breathing in the fresh air, relaxing, feeling nothing. So if you constantly feel on edge, that wired feeling, understand that once that goes, you're going to be able to see the progress from your changes. You know, and I'll get to how you can get yourself out of that wired feeling, but understand that it can take months. It really can. And it's important that you do the right things anyway, regardless of the changes you're not seeing yet. You keep to a low inflammatory food diet. You keep dairy and gluten out of your diet. You go to bed early regardless of the times you wake up, and you stay consistent, because doing the right thing is never the wrong thing when it comes to recovery. You know, there'll be times when you feel like you've taken one step forward and two steps back. It's important to keep doing the right thing, because it's never going to hinder you towards recovery either way. The mistake that I made during recovery was making a change, and if I didn't see as much of a change I would like to see, or I felt as though I had taken a step back at some point a few weeks into it, I would go back to my old habits. So I'd cut out pizzas and stuff. And if in 3 weeks time, there was a day where I felt worse, I would add the pizzas back in. But it's very illogical now when I look back at the state of mind I was in. It's a number of things. It's like pizza was a comfort food for me. So when I felt like everything else was shit, at least I could have a pizza. But understand that that's not going to get you anywhere when it comes to recovery. The best thing I can tell you is doing the right thing is never the wrong thing. So you now understand that you cannot see the changes you're looking for, and you're not going to heal when your body is in that wired state. Now, what do you do to get out of that wired state? Now, you're going to have a lot of patience. You're going to have a lot of dedication to doing the right things every day, regardless of how you feel at the time. But here we go. So first off, no exercise. Yeah, when your body's in a chronic state of adrenaline, cortisol, wired feeling, adrenals, problems, everything, exercise is only going to make that worse. For example, if you go for a jog, that increases your cortisol. It's stressful for the body, especially if you're in that state constantly. That's something I haven't mentioned quickly. When it comes to this wired but tired feeling, it's like the body's in a constant state of fight or flight. And when you're in that state of fight or flight, you are not healing. Your body's engaged. And that is the main goal when it comes to beating adrenal fatigue. It is the main fucking goal, is getting out of that wired but tired state, out of the fight or flight response, and getting your body to be able to be relaxed again, to be calm, to get into that, I don't know the word for it, but it's the word for when your body's in that relaxation state. That's your main goal. Anyway, avoiding exercise, crucial when it comes to recovering. Doing too much too soon, definitely do that, don't do that. Using less energy than you think you have is another one. Don't overdo yourself, always be conservative with your energy. You know, my analogy is, you have the iPod. It would be like charging your iPod to 5% and taking it out of the socket in the wall and then plugging it back in to do 5% all the time. You want to fully charge your iPod before you start using it, before you go on a trip or something. Removing inflammatory foods, it just makes sense that if you're putting inflammatory foods into your body, it's not doing your body any good. You know, it's not the main cause of adrenal fatigue, but when you're in that state, you cannot get away with eating junk food, less so than anyone else. Your body is compromised and you have to deal with that. Now, early nights, crucial when it comes to recovery from that wiper tired feeling. Even though some people, you know, you go to bed 9 and you listen to audiobooks, you read a book in bed and you unwind, and for the first few months you may wake up after 2 or 3 hours. It's important that you don't get up and just go on your computer or watch telly. That's just going to make the problem even worse in the long run. What you can do is, sorry, I'm like got hiccups or something. What you can do is what I used to do is, if I was in bed, I would pop my audio book back on in bed. Of course, you want something that's interesting, otherwise you're just gonna just be a bit bored. But I would just read a book again and wait an hour and then most likely fall asleep again. And sometimes when I just couldn't sleep for half an hour, I would put a coat on and just go outside and relax my body and just looking into the sky, the stars and everything, and just chill out. Don't think too much about your current situation. Realize that it's just a part of the process of recovering. Don't get angry at it. That doesn't solve anything. So yeah, early nights, chill out. You're going to wake up a few times through the night because your cortisol rhythms are just out of whack. You're going to be waking up 1 to 3 a.m. every night. Understand that it's a process and there's no quick way around it. Just do not go on technology in the middle of the night if you can't sleep. Get your phone away from your bed as well. The next one is ignoring technology as much as you can, getting away from stimulating activities, having a rule like no computer until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. These are very beneficial to you because when you're engaged on gadgets with stimulation, your body's engaged. Yeah, it's not relaxing. It's tapping into that engaged state of that wide but tired state. Sorry, I'm thinking on the spot here of everything I want to say, so sorry if I mess up a bit. So yeah, understand that if you're playing video games or watching high definition intense movies, these things are engaging your body like they're real. This is something that is exclusive to our generation of people within the last, 30 years? Through every other time in history, no one has had access to high definition Blu-ray movies of intense war scenes and stuff, you know? These things engage our bodies. Our bodies are not relaxing when we're watching these movies. Understand that you are a guinea pig to technology at the moment. So if you're waiting for scientific evidence to come and prove that these things engage our body and contribute to the hindrance of recovering from a chronic illness, you're going to be waiting a very long time. It's best to experiment with how things make you feel if you want to recover. It takes a lot of effort, I know, guys, but there's no other way around it. Yeah, there's no pill that's ever going to cure you from this thing. It takes a lot of effort. So yeah, what have we got? Removing inflammatory foods, making sure you're going to bed early, removing technology from your bed and in the morning, keeping it to a minimum. If you're on gadgets and you feel like you're getting wired and stimulated, turn them off. Don't ignore your body. That's how you got in this mess in the first place. You have to listen to your body. And if you have access to it, sitting out in nature, it's very beneficial. Changing your perspective about things, listening to books that make you question things that you've believed for a very long time. Like, for example, I started listening to Sam Harris, Christopher Hitchens and stuff, and they questioned my beliefs in spirituality and all this stuff. just do beneficial things every day, and it's never going to be a bad thing towards recovery. And be dedicated and be patient, and in a year's time you're going to be a very different person, and you're going to be glad you did it. You can either look back a year from now and go, why didn't I do it then? Or you're going to look back a year from now and go, I'm so glad I did it. Yeah, so those are the two choices you have. I'll end this video now, it's been quite long, but yeah, don't expect recovery when you're in that wired but tired state. Understand that your changes in how you feel are going to be minimal when you're in that state, even though you're making beneficial changes. And just be patient, guys. Yeah, so I'll leave you with a view of the place that I'm currently at. It's just a massive field. I was cycling past it just now, and it's like just a little tree house. Anyway, 11 minutes. Oh god. If you're recovering, you'll want to listen to this information anyway. See you later, guys.